Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Saj the Boss, and tonight I just witnessed the double dose of an exorcism. Tonight I just got done watching one of the greatest horror films of the year itself. This movie is none other than The Exorcist, the Believer. Exorcist Believer, which is a new trilogy that has mixed reviews from the box office. But I personally say I can't wait for the other two films going to be in this franchise. Well, this video will have no spoilers whatsoever about The Exorcist Believer. Okay guys, so going into this movie, I was a mediocre fan of The Exorcist. I just watched the original Exorcist a while back, probably a couple years ago to be honest with you, and I just fell in love with exorcisms from that very day when I watched that movie. So my fascination with exorcism led me to all kinds of different subgenre movies like The Conjuring and other films like Chucky Season 2 featured it, but all kinds of movies that kind of feature that subject matter. And as a Catholic, I think it's just a neat kind of effect that things actually happen like this. And that kind of made my fascination level really through the roof. But from there though, I'm just a massive horror fan. I love all kinds of different horror films. And when I saw they're making this one from the very first preview, I thought it was a true crime movie. It looked like a true crime movie about a young girl, two young girls who go missing, and the whole exorcism begins. Huh, who knew? So I pretty much just thought it was a true crime movie where I really felt like this movie felt like a true crime movie with two different kids missing. And I got really excited from the previews and I heard the Exorcist theme. I'm like, yep, this is a movie for me, and I definitely went to the cinema and saw this film. With that being said, the plot of this movie is very, very simple. It follows two different families. A young girl named Catherine, she's actually a Christian. She actually lives with their family, and she has two other siblings, and a young girl with a father who lost his wife during the earthquake in Haiti, which plays a really big part. So if you're familiarized with the earthquake in 2010, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's one of the most horrific stories ever to happen in the entire, one of the more horrific stories ever happened in recent years on Earth. It's really sad, and there's a lot more worse in the news as well as of lately. So I don't want to go in subject matter of that, but they really played heavily on that subject matter. But her father is a photographer, and this person's name is Angela. Angela. Not from The Office, different Angela. So Angela and Catherine were friends, and so the whole plot follows them, and they go in the woods. And what they do in the woods will kind of shock you, but I don't want to give anything away. It's nothing bad. It just kind of cool. It's kind of like spiritual, but not like that spiritual. It's not that it is spiritual, but it's kind of like one of those like mediums. If you think of a medium, I don't want to give it away, but it's a medium kind of effect, and I really enjoyed what they did. A medium, I don't know what to call it. Medium kind of effect, what they did with the whole wood situation. But they go missing for a couple days, and they come back, and they are possessed by demons. Also, this movie does have a nice cameo, just like Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween, coming back to play Laurie Strode. This one actually has Reagan's mom. Yeah, Reagan's mom. As we talk about the characters, Reagan's mom is back. She's just an incredible actress. I just absolutely love her. I love her in the first Exorcist movie. She just was a really, really talented actress, and I just can't believe that she is actually in this film. I absolutely love it. So the two girls, guys, I haven't really looked up who these actors are, but these two young actors who play Reagan and Catherine are just outstanding actors. This movie is all about foreshadowing of their lives and their past, and how their friendship kind of turmoiled to do the situation. Because a lot of these girls' backgrounds don't really lead up to being like problem kids or like troublemakers, or girls be girls or boys be boys. These people almost kind of like have an idea, and this person's helpful, and it's almost kind of that kind of friendship. So I'm not really 100% sure what the friendship is, but the movie really foreshadows both of their lives and how they're connected through this supernatural phenomenon. Also, guys, the dad, let's talk about the dads quickly. So Catherine's dad, guys, is the photographer, like I said. He was a really nice dad. He was a nice, strong role model. He's funny. He's a little bit, he's almost like quick-minded, but he's also just very like protective, and he's almost like a helicopter kind of dad a little bit, but he just is a really protective parent, and he just loves his kid. And then the Christian side of the family, I think they're really religious. They go to church every Sunday, and they really focus on a lot of like their lives and how their kid is just number one, a leadership role. She just, Catherine is just one of those people who just are really there for others and help people. And that's almost what the vibe I got off of her character. Okay guys, so those are pretty much the main characters of this movie, the main cast of this film. So going on to things I really enjoyed about this movie. Number one, this movie really felt wholesome. It really felt like this movie felt like wholesome and really connects you to believing that something supernatural actually can occur. And I personally believe that could be true, because I personally believe that ghosts are the first ever urban legend that came about in the United States and that passed down through different generations from different cultures. But it's the first ever Americanized thing. But with exorcisms though, somebody who believes me, those are real. Those could happen, but I'm not 100% sure those are real. Could be an urban legend, could be something, but there is proof out there that those happen. If you saw The Conjuring, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Probably the best thing of this whole movie is the exorcism. It was probably one of the best scenes I've ever seen in a horror film to this date. It was so magical. It reminded me of The Upside Down. It reminded me of the Stranger Things. It reminded me of The Conjuring. It really reminded me a lot of Silence of the Lambs. It was really nice. It was really nice organized. The score was beautiful. They just did a really nice job with it. And something I really enjoyed too is the usage of other religions that really concurred to make this exorcism more suitable for the audience to watch instead of just watching a Catholic movie or a different religion. Like, because a lot of times it's based on the Catholic Church. It's really not. So also exorcisms happen in other cultures, which I learned, which is a phenomenal anomaly. So that's something else I really enjoyed. But also I just love the bonding of the families coming together as one, as protecting everything. It just really felt wholesome. And another thing I personally really enjoyed was the dads themselves. I just wish I could see this with my dad. I think it'd be fun. So take your dad to see The Exorcist. Come on, take your dads to see The Exorcist. If you get anything out of this video, take your dad. I'm just kidding, but it's a really nice family movie. Really, it's about family connecting after a supernatural phenomenon and how to cope after a certain scary situation. Yeah, that's pretty much another thing I enjoyed. Lastly, something I really enjoyed is the setting. The setting is like a nice suburb in Georgia, which takes place in Georgia. It's a really nice suburb setting. I love neighborhood movies, and the whole house itself just was so much fun to watch the different things that happened. And Halloween Horror Nights did not feature that one gray creature. If you've ever seen the Horror Nights footage of the Exorcist house, nothing like that occurred. Okay guys, so going on to things I did not like about The Exorcist. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, the pacing of this movie felt a little slow in the beginning, but it really built up. Something I didn't really like too was kind of how predictable some of the scares were, because you kind of saw it coming. If you're a big, long-hearted horror fan like I am, you see things coming. I only screamed once, guys, and it was immaculate that I screamed once. I don't know why I screamed once, but I just did. I just did, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. Also, the thing I might not like too is just like the overall movie, because a lot of it is done with foreshadowment. If you love theater, you would understand foreshadowment, the fourth wall. It really kind of comes as an audience member witnessing what's going on. So you're there as the fourth wall, and you're watching all these events occur at once. So some people may not like it, but I personally kind of didn't care for some of it because I wanted more relationship building between Angela and Catherine. So I just really wanted more relationships between them. So that's my pretty much biggest gripe. I just really want more fulfillment on those characters and more bonding and more coping. I want the next chapter to this one. I'm hoping it's called Exorcist Confession. That's my prediction. Exorcist Confession is the next one. I'm predicting it. Could be wrong, but who knows? A couple years, I could be getting. Lastly, guys, I got the whole entire movie theater to myself tonight. I was the only one at the 6:30 showing of The Exorcist, and I had fun. It was one of the most fun times I ever had in a movie theater. I was all alone. No one there, just myself and my popcorn and my peanut M&Ms that I snuck in the theater. But it was so cool. It was so cool to sit there by myself and watch a movie. That's never happened to me. It's probably the best $14 I've ever spent in the movie theater was just seeing this movie alone. Okay guys, so how do I recommend The Exorcist, Believer? Well, if you're a believer of exorcism and the paranormal, this is a movie for you. If you love all kinds of horror movies, this movie is for you. If you have something you want to do with your friends, I totally recommend it. Your family, go ahead and see this. This movie is designed for all beloved horror fans of the supernatural and phenomenon thrillers. So, like I said, this movie is for anybody who's a massive horror fan, who wants to look for something fun and spooky this Halloween season. This movie is designed for you. Also, this movie is also fun to watch year-round too. I don't know. I kind of see this movie as a springtime or fall movie, really. But it's a nice movie, nice touch, and I love the artwork, and I just love the makeup and prosthetics they have done with this movie, and the CGI, spot on. So, at the end of the day, how do I rate this movie? Well, I rate this movie a solid 10 out of 10. Actually, 9 out of 10 to be honest with you. It is a 10 out of 10. I'm just kidding. I'm pulling your hamstring, your leg. I'm kidding. It is a 10 out of 10 for me. This is the best horror film of the year so far. I just saw The Nun 3 weeks ago, but I gotta say, The Exorcist, Believer, one of my new favorite horror films. I can't wait to see what they do next. Well, thank you for your time. I'm Saj the Boss, and I'll see you guys later for more videos like this in the future. And I just can't wait for Five Nights at Freddy's. So thank you guys, and I'll see you guys later for more videos like this in the future. Thank you. Bye-bye, and good evening.